gets made in sport and football about positivity and all that sort of, all the, I guess, the mental aspects of the game. I'm not saying there's nothing in it, far from it, there clearly is. But in this instance, against Norwich, I really do think that was just the tonic, just the medicine that we needed to get over Frankfurt. Going into the game, I found there was sort of almost two mindsets, very much so. And I look at the comments every single day. I did a video yesterday which was about Manchester United playing badly, about how actually there's an opportunity there for us to get sixth and don't give up on sixth. There were very much almost two bodies of opinion, if we like. One of them was very much, no, it's gone, it's over, we won't do anything. Almost, we won't win against Norwich, we can't win against Norwich. We're on such a downer as a club, we can't do it. And there's been a load of other comments as well, which have been sort of reflective, but in a positive sense. Which is, and it's since Frankfurt, haven't we done well? We did tremendously well to get to a semi-final. Moyes has done great. Look how far we've come in the last couple of seasons. That sort of thing. And I've got to be honest, I didn't find either of those things particularly helpful going into this game. Because there's plenty of time for reflecting. There really is. There's plenty of time for looking at that and thinking, oh, what a great semi-final that was. If it's a positive reflection, there's also plenty of time for a negative reflection, which is, was the squad too thin? Should we have brought somebody in January? All that sort of thing. But it served no purpose now. For this game against Norwich was the be-all and end-all. And I think it was really, when I talk about mindset, it's really for the coaches, the manager and the players. I'm really impressed that they managed to get over the Frankfurt hangover, because none of those two things are any good as terms of preparation going into a game, which was against an easy team, let's be honest. But, again, go back and look at the comments. It wasn't unanimous that we'd beat Norwich, if you look at yesterday's video. Far from it, actually. And I also think that that's almost the third mindset, which is, there's no point. There's no points. A few comments over there. Do you know what? We're not going to do anything against Norwich. We're not going to do anything against City. We're not going to do anything against Brighton. There's no point. Even I do understand people being on a downer after Frankfurt, and to be fair, Arsenal and all the other stuff that preceded it as well. And this is what I'm most impressed about with the team was and the management. They managed to switch off from all of that. I was suspect about Moyes. I thought Moyes had lost it. Really, I thought he'd. Far too reactionary for my liking in what happened in Frankfurt. The post-match interview afterwards didn't fill me with confidence either. And I thought it's going to be really hard for him to turn this around and to get the players focused and to really get some focus, some determination and some direction in the group of players. Fair play. They turned up against Norwich, and from the word go, well, I guess the whistle, from the referee's first whistle, I thought we were at it. And as I say, it's easy to say it was just Norwich, but that wasn't the general consensus before. It was, hold on, Norwich are going to cause us problems. It's easy in hindsight to say it's just Norwich, but we need to go and beat the game. I suspected we would beat Norwich. And it just goes to show, actually, that what a good team we can be. And how good, I do wonder, I think we possibly would have got fifth this season if we hadn't had a European campaign. Maybe even better. Maybe even better. Actually, I do. I think we would have been contesting top four. The European campaign has really sort of hindered us. But there is. I was just really, really pleased with what I saw. I thought there was a real spring in the step. I was worried about Antonio. And, well, I guess he's got an injury. We don't know what's going to happen. But forget about that for the moment. I was wondering, was he going to be exhausted? Was he going to be deflated? No, he wasn't. I thought he was fit. He was firing. And he looked absolutely up for it. I was worried a little bit about Jarrod Bowen. I have to be honest with you. I thought I didn't think he played well. I know we were down to 10 men, but I mean you could put that before every sentence I'm going to say. But we were down to 10 men against Frankfurt. But just take that away for a second. I don't think he was particularly good against Frankfurt. Yes, he was outnumbered, but so I wondered: is he going to have regrets? Will he think? How's he going to respond? And it's all about attitude. I felt he responded really, really well. Looked really sharp. There were lots of big games for players, really, really important. None more so than Aaron Cresswell, has to be said. They targeted him from the word go. He made a mistake very early on in the game, didn't he? But then after that, he just got better and better. And actually finished up the game by putting a lovely ball into the box for Fornals, who basically missed from 5 yards, something like that. I didn't feel Fornals played well, but there was nothing wrong with his attitude, by the way. And this is what I'm talking about. It's attitude. You sort of hope that if all your players are carrying a good attitude into the game, that you're going to play well. As if by magic, I've changed. I've changed T-shirt, and the reason I've changed T-shirt, see this one fine T-shirt in homage to Mark Noble. Look at that Hammers Chat branding. Can you see that? Now, what we've got going on at the moment is hammerschatstore.com. You can check it out in the link below. We've got a discount code, which hopefully you should see by way of wonderful graphics, which should pop up about there. On Mark Noble stuff, we've got mugs, we've got T-shirts, we've got all sorts of stuff at the moment. Go and check out Hammers Chat Store. Of course, if you're a patron, you already get a discount. Even if you're not a patron, put in the discount code there and you can grab yourself some of these, well, that are obviously going to be discontinued really soon, Mark Noble T-shirts. We've got a few of them, actually, in homage to him, up ahead of the final game, his final home game against Manchester City. If you get it done now and you buy now, we'll get them out in the post to you ahead of the Manchester City game. The link's in the description of this video. Back onto the players. Well, Mark Noble himself came on, didn't he? And that was quite interesting, really, because Declan Rice went back into central defence. Craig Dawson, of course, got injured. I'll tell you what. There's never any doubting Craig Dawson's attitude at all, and I think it's actually been quite a remarkable season from him. It wasn't I was surprised that he went in with the right attitude into today's game, but I was just delighted to see that so many others carried with him. I thought Zuma had a relatively quiet game by his standards, but I mean, you know, they're not good, Norwich. They're really not a good team. I did feel a little bit sorry for them at the end with their fans. They just had no fans left in the stadium. It's got to be a hard one to turn up for, but you know what? They got a good academy. They got a half decent manager there, and some good young players. That's for sure. So they should be right. But that Pookie is just not good enough at this top level. And mind you, he got through at the end, didn't he? Fabianski, smart save. My goodness, what was all that flapping all about when he dropped the ball? As harsh as it may seem, when that happened, when Fabianski just dropped the ball, I thought, yeah, I mean, he cannot be our number one next season. He's not been utterly useless this season, by the way. You know, far from it. He's been all right. But it's something that has got to be addressed. But you know what? Here's my point about the video and about there being sort of no hangover. That has given us the perfect opportunity now, because of that tonic, because of that medicine. It allows the players, I think, to put Frankfurt to the back of their mind until the end of the season. It's really, really important that. I think had we not had that positive spring in our step, that bounce, then I do believe that it was really hard to then look at Man City and then look at Brighton as viable options. It's going to be tough now. When I say viable options, I mean viable options to get 3 points. Brighton like Barcelona at the moment. As I always say, Brighton are either Barcelona or crap. And at the moment, they're Barcelona. They're streaky. Big periods during the season where they're crap. And then there's just times when they look as good as the top teams. They're a bit of a funny one, really. But they're clearly beatable. That being said, we don't seem to do too well against them. But that's the incorrect mindset that I don't want the players to have that. Because, that was a lot of the mindset that was prevalent in the last few days. And that is what I'm so pleased that Moyes was able to turn around. It's certainly, I don't know about full therapy, but it was quite therapeutic to win 4-0. It almost reminded me a little bit of last season, actually, when we had the full swashbuckle last season, if you remember, when Antonio did he score 4 goals against Norwich? I think he did. But we were looking really, no, it wasn't last season. Anyway, you know what I mean. The season before last, that one. But last season, when we were having a very, very good time, and we were beating Wolves, we were beating Leicester, and having loads of good performances. That was more like what we saw today. The injuries are going to be awkward. I think Craig Dawson will be fine, even if he's injured, he'll be fine. He'll play. Benrahma, I have some sympathy for him because it was looking like he was shaping up to have his best game. I thought he almost. The flick on from Yarmolenko, he might have had a hat-trick. Then you would be looking at it, I think it probably was his best game, which I think would have really served him well, because I said in the build-up to the game, if Benrahma didn't play well, then I could see us losing him next season. Not losing him, but us wanting rid of him. David Moyes, you never get the impression he's David Moyes' favourite player anyway. I think had he have not played well, I think it would have probably hastened his exit. Bit of a shame for him, actually. And we're going to need him. Let's make no mistake about that. Given the choice at the moment between Fornals and Benrahma, I would pick Benrahma. I think Fornals in horrendous form, actually. I think his passing's off. Some terrible passes in this game. Missed 2 good chances. First one was a scramble. He got the nod down from Antonio. Missed from about 10 yards. Then he missed from Cresswell's cross. Both good deliveries, and he missed both times. So I don't think he's in particularly good form. And obviously Benrahma had 3 chances and scored 2 goals. Fornals, had 2 chances and fluffed his lines on both occasions. So not so good there. I was very pleased to see Lanzini play like that. The big call was Souček, wasn't it? Maybe we'll discuss that in a day or two on another video. But hey ho, look, all in all, really, really good. Just the therapy we needed. Not much of the weekend left to enjoy, but the sun was shining. West Ham played well. We're still banging it. Let's see where we are next week. We can hopefully get something in one of the next 2 games, but we do need Crystal Palace to do us a favour.